An investigation has been launched by Parliament's standards watchdog into Rishi Sunak and a possible failure to declare an interest. In the last few minutes, Downing Street sources have said that the investigation relates to shares that his wife holds in a childcare agency. Sky's political correspondent Rob Powell joins us now from Westminster with more on this developing story. Rob, you were suggesting that this could be what it's about. How is it possible that the Prime Minister hasn't declared it as an interest if we all knew about it?
So it was when he was being questioned by MPs on the liaison committee about an announcement that came in the budget last month that was essentially introducing bonuses if people, or additional payments for childminders signing up to get into the profession or signing up through an agency. So the overall aim was to try and boost the number of childminders that were out there and able to take on work, which of course came as part of a broader package about expanding childcare for parents of younger children as well. And what the allegation was at the time was essentially when Rishi Sunak was being asked about the specifics of this, he hadn't flagged up in that instant that his wife was a shareholder in an agency that would potentially benefit from this policy announcement. I think as well, people pointed to the list of ministerial interests, which hasn't actually been updated for quite a while, in part given the upheaval because of the standards advisor changing quite so frequently in the last year or so, that they claimed it wasn't spelt out clearly enough there that he had a link, obviously through his wife, to an agency that could potentially benefit. So essentially, yes, it was out there in the press or was reported shortly after he made this appearance at the liaison committee, but really the sort of rules and the code of conduct of Parliament is such that you have to take formal steps to outline these potential interests so that any potential conflict of interest in what you are doing in your political day job and your personal interests you have are set out and are transparent. So, as you say, a Downing Street source has now confirmed that this Standards Commissioner inquiry that was started last Thursday is related to this potential issue of shares that Rishi Sunak's wife, Akshata Murthy, has in an agency called Koru Kids, that this investigation will go on to see whether he has declared all of that properly. Now, it's understood what the kind of defence, if you like, from the Prime Minister is that actually, because the Register of Ministerial Interests, where the Prime Minister and other ministers declare potential interests or potential financial interests and other connections that could give rise to potential conflicts of interest, because that hasn't been published, a new one hasn't come out in, from my memory, a year or so now, maybe even longer actually, that in the new Ministerial Register of Interests that will be coming out fairly soon, hopefully, that's being worked on by the standards advisor now, that will actually be detailed there. So I think that will be part of the defence by Number 10. But I mean, the standards advisor investigating does so and then comes back and decides whether the code of conduct has been broken. If it has, that's when the focus shifts on what kind of punishment, what kind of sanction could be put forward. It can range from an apology to the House to being suspended from the House. Obviously, that is quite far down the line, but it is clearly serious. But I think from the briefing that is coming out right now, Number 10 seem confident that actually the appropriate declarations have been made. But this is now a case of the Standards Commissioner going through the protocol and investigating this. And given there's quite a few different MPs that are being investigated by the Commissioner at the moment, that may well take some time.